Bismillah. So, Anthony Yarde trainer might have cost the fight for Anthony Yarde. Obviously, I don't know what's going on during the fight when a fighter is fighting his opponents. I'm just focusing on the fight. I'm not focusing on what the trainer has to say and none of that. But I peeped that the trainer was telling him some weird instructions. You know what I mean? He was telling him he got the fight in the bag. He was telling him Kovalev, he got one more round, he finished. Now it's cool to say that in sparring to your guy you training to give him more motivation, but not in a real fight where that's gonna cost him the fight. Now he's Yarde during the fight, he probably thinking to himself, oh, for real, Kovalev only got one more round in him. Well, all I gotta go is for another 2 rounds, and I got the fight in the bag. So his trainer was telling Yarde the wrong things, the wrong instructions. He was telling Yarde to empty the tank. He actually told him to empty the tank in the 7th round, leading up to the 8th round. And Yarde did what he told. And it cost him the fight. He went all for it. Instead of, this was the wrong thing about what Yarde, he made a huge mistake when he went all out in the 8th round, because it's so many wrong things in the picture. If you know, you know. What's up, Aki? That's my guy. Jean, what's goody? Yarde told him, Yarde trainer told Yarde to empty the tank. And during the round, when he heard Sergey Kovalev, he was telling him, don't stop, keep going. And that's how you kill yourself. Now, think about it. All he had to do is pull back. When he hurt him, all he had to do is pull back and then feint Sergey Kovalev to get him to react to see what he's going to do, and then load up on a shot. But Yarde was just throwing arm punches. His right hand, he wasn't using his body to turn. He was throwing it as like a lead right hand, which doesn't have that much power behind it. He was pushing his punches. He wasn't having no torque on his punches. And that's how you generate knockout powers, by generating torque when you rotate your shoulders real quick, So Yarde trainer, man, he was just telling him all the wrong things. And I know that's his guy, and I know Yarde is loyal, and Yarde is my guy, but at the end of the day, that trainer cost you the fight, man. With all the inexperience, only if he really had a good trainer, he probably could have beat Kovalev. Because he had Kovalev in the bag. From the wrong game plan, he still adjusted in the 8th round. In the 7th round, he was putting on him and going to the body. However, like I said, he went all out too quick and ended up gassing himself out. Click on the like button. But like I said, even between rounds, he was telling him, you're doing great. And then when he was doing bad, you telling him, lines only. Like, bro, that's only good for during training camp. During, hype your fighter up by telling him lines only. I get it. But not in a fight when your fighter is struggling to survive. Your fighter is gassed out, and you telling them lines in the camp. Like, that ain't gonna cut it. The reason why Yarde got knocked out, because instead of telling them the right instructions, instead of telling them what to do, instead you over here telling them lines only, lines in the camp. Like, that is not gonna do nothing for him, not mentally, not physically. Just to hear that is like, really, bruh? After you told them, believe in me, empty the tank, and he emptied the tank, and it cost him the fight. After you told him he only got one more round in him, believe in me, and he went 3 more rounds, and Kovalev still had way more in the tank. Yo, I'm about to block this person. He keep calling me. I told him I'm on YouTube Live. back live. My shit crashed. There's too many people calling my phone. That's why I don't go live. But let me see. Hold on. Anyways, so like I stated, you know, he really cost him the fight. Now I don't know how true it is when they say that he doesn't train. I mean, he doesn't spar, this and that. I don't know, because I hear a lot of people say they saw him do real sparring before. He has to do real sparring. You cannot even make it to the level where he's at if you don't do real sparring. I don't even believe that at all. You know, I don't believe there is no such thing as a fighter that only works on countering and what to do in a fight. Like, you have to really spar in order to get prepared for a fight, or you're not gonna learn nothing at all. And I speak that on personal experience. I really don't learn a damn thing unless I spar somebody. I don't learn nothing. You could teach me how to do this, how to do that. If I don't apply it in a sparring match, I'm not gonna save it in the memory box, because at the end of the day, I need to practice the move I learned in a real fight in order for me to really learn that move. Because it's one thing to learn how to avoid punches and you know, work on defense, you know, and doing pads, but it's different when a punch is coming. When you know it's a punch that could knock you out. When you know it's a different velocity to the punch. When the fighter feints you. When the fighter throws the punch in different speed. When the fighter uses different angles. When you have to counter and you have to get out the way. It's so much that comes into play. So I know for a fact that he has to spar somewhat. Like, there is no such thing as Yarde not sparring. Preparing for a fight. I believe that's just some bullshit they came out with, you know, trying to like make Sergio go crazy. They probably did get to Sergio mentally, you know. I believe they try to psych him out, but I don't believe that Yarde don't spar, you know. That don't even sound right. But if it's true and the man doesn't spar, then I don't know what to say. I mean, he a beast. If he gets to spar, then he'd probably beat up Deontay Wilder. Like, what do you mean he doesn't spar? Like, the man has to spar somewhat. Like, if you're telling me he doesn't spar at all, I got to see that for myself. You know what I mean? That's some new level shit. You know, like I said, all the greatest. You know, he don't even have an amateur background for him to relate his experience on. You know, if he doesn't spar, like, what is he learning? You know, it ain't like his trainer is such an elite trainer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think his trainer had or trained anybody elite before. If that's the case, then how is Yarde learning and gaining so much experience on getting better? Because he is getting better. Man, my phone keep crashing. This shit's stupid. My man said, yo, quick question. Will you give Canelo credit for being Kovalev? Well, obviously, Canelo, let me answer my boy real quick before I get back to my point. You know, obviously, Canelo, I'm favoring Canelo to beat Kovalev. Just because he had service is horrible. But, you know, like I said, he's going to be able to deal with a lot of static coming from Kovalev due to his style, because as Tyson, y'all know, heavyweight is for the big guys. But when Tyson came along, actually his physique worked to his benefit, because guys weren't used to fighting guys that's so short, and he's able to get to the body quicker. So there's advantages for Canelo Alvarez. When he fights Kovalev, he's going to be able to hit his body much easier. He's going to be able to get to the body while being in the safe zone. And also the fact that Kovalev can't fight in the inside, I'm favoring Canelo all day. Especially if Canelo do that weight clause on him. Because we know he fought Chavez Sr. or Jr. at 164. He drained him 4 pounds. So I know for a fact he about to do something to Kovalev, you know. So if that's the case, then I really don't see Kovalev having a chance. However, if he fight Kovalev with no weight clause, none of that, then Kovalev does have a shot. So I'm going to give him credit regardless. But at the end of the day, I will give him more credit if he fights an Andrade or a Charlo, if that's what you're asking. Because he fighting Kovalev because he see Kovalev is exposed. He saw that a guy with no experience, Anthony Yarde with no experience whatsoever, he almost had him out. So he thinking to himself, man, I'm glad he didn't fuck up my money because I'm about to do that to him and win my 4th weight division belt. And, you know, it's a good win. However, Canelo got to be cautious from Sergey's power, from his jab. We all know Gennady Golovkin hurt Sergey Kovalev. Gennady Golovkin hurt Canelo Alvarez with his jab. You know, he got his attention the whole night with his jab. That was the only consistent punch he was able to land. So we know Kovalev was going to be able to land with that punch. Now, is he going to be able to keep him at bay with that punch? Canelo got good head movement. So if he's able to get inside without getting tired and bang Kovalev's body and stop him, it's going to be a statement. However, we all know from Sanchez, he stated that Gennady Golovkin hurt Kovalev to the body. So if Kovalev got hurt by Gennady Golovkin to the body, I'm pretty sure Canelo Alvarez could do the same thing. So I'm not really too worried about that. I see Canelo Alvarez beating Kovalev, but I'm gonna make a video on that tomorrow. But let's get back to the topic. Like I said, Yarde trainer, you know, he just seemed to be off on that. You know, he was telling him he don't have that much experience at that level. So if he doesn't spar, it ain't like he's a Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Leonard or Sugar Ray Robert, whoever, you know, where they had the deep amateur background where they could relate like a lot of things they see in the pros. They'd be like, oh, okay, I just got to make this small adjustments, and their past experience could get them out of bad situations in the pros. Yarde does not have that. He didn't. What's the highest level he boxed in the amateurs? Like, who did he beat in the amateurs? Nobody. So his 12 fights is equivalent of 12 sparring matches. And then his 18 fights in the pros, if he doesn't spar, is equivalent of 18 sparring matches. So that's 2 training camps. So you're telling me with 2 training camps he was able to compete with Kovalev? I believe he spars somewhat. Now, if he doesn't spar at all, like I said, that's some BS, man. Like, he need to find him a new trainer, all that. But as far as his trainer, like I said, you know, as a fighter, if I'm a fighter, I don't want to go back in the corner and hear my trainer become a motivation speaker. Lines only. Lines in the camp. You could do it. Empty the tank. Like, I'm not trying to hear these type of instructions. These are for, like, hype man. You ain't my hype man. You taking 10% of my purse to telling me instructions that I need to do. Like Kovalev trainer. You saw what Kovalev trainer was telling him. He was, on the other hand, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. But Kovalev was telling his trainer was telling him, look, he's going for your feints. Feint him more. You know, don't push for the shots. They're gonna come. Wait for the right moment to let shots go. Don't waste shots. He was telling them the right instructions. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, on the other hand, Yarde, his trainer, is telling him, empty the tank. Your fighter is dead ass tired. You need to tell him, be more selective with your shots. Not empty the tank so you could get knocked out the round after. You know, he literally told him, empty the tank, and cost him the fight. He told him, you're doing great, when he wasn't doing great. He was telling him, stay boxing him. When he's not even supposed to be boxing him, he need to be putting pressure on Kovalev. He need to go to the body. And then he realized that the body shots were effective that the body shots were effective. Then he started telling them, oh, go to the body. It's like, bro, that's late. You should have been telling them from round 1, invest to the body. We never been 12 rounds. So we not trying to go 12 rounds. So invest to the body in case we do. At least Kovalev be more tired than us because we're going to bang that body. So y'all should have had me in his corner. We could have won the fight. We could have won the damn fight, man. And I don't even want 10%, be honest with you. I'm doing bad. I take 3%. You know what I mean? I promise you, I could have gave him better advices in the corner. I was giving him advices through the TV, but he can't hear me, so it's pointless. So, you know, I could have won him the fight. Because I believe I saw some things that I could have told him to do that could have won him the fight. And his trainer threw me off. He just didn't like, I don't know if during the moment, people do get shocked, like, and don't know what to do or what to say. So that probably happened to his trainer, but at the end of the day, I don't care. He messed up big time and messed up Yarde's career because they took this fight too early, where if they took it at the right time, they could have won the fight. On top of all that, you told him to, I mean, I never seen a trainer that tell his fighter that's tired, dead tired, he tell him to empty the tank. And then while he's emptying his tank, he's not telling him to be more selective. Telling him, hey, wait, freaking feint to see where he's going next, then punch his ass. Nah, he's telling him, don't stop throwing. Like, bro, y'all know how tired it is to hit the mat non-stop. When you tired, that shit will kill you. Like, I know this off personal experience. Whenever I was doing mats, and then I gotta do the burnout when you gotta do this shit for like 30 seconds. That shit was killing me. Like, after I'm done with that, I'm out. Like, I'm done for the day. So I know how tired it is. And Anthony Yarde was punching that whole round nonstop. So you're telling him punch nonstop for what? It's not effective punching. Like, he's hitting him with punches, but then punches aren't that effective because they arm punches. They don't have nothing behind them. They don't have his body weight behind him. He's not swinging with the punch to create body momentum on the punch. So it's like them punches was pointless. They were good for the naked eye. They were good to score on the card, but at that point you already told him to empty the tank. Now he empties the tank, then it don't matter who he fighted. He could have been fighting a fighter that can't even fight, that has a lot in the tank, that been 12 rounds before. He will beat him. Because if you can't get your fighter out of there and he got conditioning to go 12 rounds and you don't, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna get you out of there. So Anthony Yarde made a huge mistake by listening to his trainer and emptying the tank and not being selective with his shots. Like I said, you hurt your opponent. You know you hurt him to the body and to the head. The smartest thing to do, okay, I'm tired. What I'm going to do, I'm going to catch my breath. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to catch him with shots that will count. Like, that will put his lights out. And so I could save energy in the process. And then by doing that, you could have just, you know what I'm saying, feint his ass. You can see him react or see what he does. I'm like, okay, feint him again, and then go off that. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that hard. Like I said, I'm not trying to act like I'm a genius or none of that, but it don't take, ain't no rocket science. You know, this is like, any boxing trainer know this. But like I said, doing it during the moment is a different story. So Anthony Yarde, man, he's gonna learn a lot from this experience. However, he do need a new trainer, and I know he's loyal and in his lines only, but there's nothing wrong with a new trainer if your trainer never been on a championship level. You know, Andre Ward trainer, for example, Virgil Hunter, he's experienced at that level. He knows what it takes. You know, he trained Andre Ward from the bottom, but he won him a gold medal from day one. You know, and then He took him to the pros, and Andre Ward haven't lost the fight since he was 12 years old for a reason. However, on the other hand, Anthony Yarde, he don't know what it's like to experience a loss. He never lost in the amateurs nor the pros. He don't have that much experience to go by, you know. So I feel bad for Yarde because he's put in a bad situation where he don't know what to do. It's like if he gets a new trainer, they're gonna blow you a traitor. I know how UK people do. They're gonna blow, oh, he this, he that. His trainer gonna look down on him. You know, I feel Yarde. However, he got to do the right thing for his career. You know, I don't care if your trainer gonna get offended. You know, look at what his trainer was talking about. He was talking mad silly, talking about Yarde got more skills than Andre Ward. Like, okay, if you say Yarde got more natural talent than Ward, then I could probably be like, okay, you know, Andre Ward even says that he'd be nice and talks about fighters and be like, you know what, this guy, you know, I didn't have much talent like this guy does. You know, when he talk about younger fighters, even when he talk about Adrian Broner, he'd be like, oh, I don't got as much talent as Adrian Broner, so he need to take advantage of that. It's okay if what's his name, Yarde trainer said that, but Yarde trainer said that Yarde got more skills than Ward. Man, Andre Ward been polishing his skills for the past like 2 decades. How is a guy for like 2 years gonna have more skills, or 3 or 5 years gonna have more skills than Ward? Like, it don't even make sense. It don't even make sense or add up, because trust me, a guy that only been boxing for so long is not gonna have more skills than Andre Ward, because it don't matter how much talent you got. Skills and talent are 2 different things. Skills you can work on in the ring. Like, skills are something like, okay, I'm gonna work on blocking, parrying the jab, you know, working on different defensive moves or offensive moves. You know what I'm saying? These are skills. Talent is God gifted, you know? So you can say a person got more talent than you. However, they can't say they got more skills than a guy that's been pro for like 2 decades and been winning and never lost. You know what I'm saying? So your trainer from day one was saying some wild ass shit that I'm like, man, when it's time for when it's time for you to tell Yarde the truth, will you tell him, oh, look, Yarde, you gassing out, so you got to go to the body like it ain't no tomorrow? Are you gonna say those things? And he didn't. Like, his trainer is the type of trainer, like, don't lie to me during the fight, man. Like, that's one thing. As a fighter, you cannot lie to the fighter during the fight, because if you do so, you're only hurting your fighter. If you telling your fighter you winning the round when he's not, you're hurting your fighter. If you're telling your fighter you're doing great when he's not, you're hurting your fighter. If you're telling your fighter that your opponent is more gassed out than you when he's not, you're hurting your fighter, because he believes the shit you say, because you are outsider that's looking inside. So he probably like, oh, he probably seen something I'm not. Boykin, salute. What's up, Aki? So, oh my God, two right here. Jaden, what's up, fam? John said, Andre and Charlo, do you agree that they should both ignore Canelo and clean the division without Canelo? Well, listen, they don't have no choice. It ain't like they got a choice. Canelo been ducking them since the 154-pound division. So it's 160, and he's still doing the same shit. Andre ducked Canelo. Canelo ducked Andre. As soon as Andre vacated the belt, he fought for his belt, and now Andrade won about 160. Canelo don't want to fight him. Charlo was his mandatory. He gave up the belt and not fought him, right? So they're going to have to fight each other, but you got to think, just like Errol Spence is with Showtime, with PBC, and Terence Crawford is with Top Rank. Same thing in this situation. If it's not a big fight, it's gonna be hard for that fight to get made. Andrade, he's with DAZN. DAZN got Canelo. DAZN got Daniel Jacob. DAZN got Gennady Golovkin. DAZN got Andrade. So it's easy for that fight to get made. For Charlo and Andrade to fight each other, that fight is not big enough yet to happen, because where is it gonna happen? Andrade gonna want it to be on DAZN. Andrade is not gonna be willing to go to the PBC, because he's gonna be like, oh well, I might get robbed, this and that, right? As he did in the past when he avoided the Jamel Charlo at 154. And Charlo ain't gonna want to go to DAZN to fight Andrade. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want that fight on PBC. So that fight is hard to get made right now because it's not big enough yet. However, I believe, they will clear out the division. If Devyachenko beat GGG, I believe Jamel Charlo and Devyachenko will fight each other. If Gennady Golovkin beats Devyachenko, I believe he will fight Canelo next. And then that will be a trilogy match if Canelo's capable of beating Kovalev, which is a tough task to say the least. And Canelo, even though he don't got that much stamina, he's very selective with his shots. He's not stupid enough to empty the tank. That's like some dumb shit. I would never fight somebody and empty my tank while I know my opponent could still punch. Because this ain't a sport where if you get tired, you could just sit on the bench. Hell no. If you get tired, you get punched in the face. So how the hell I'm gonna avoid getting hit if I'm tired, especially if you're relying on reflexes and all that. And boxing is one sport you cannot get tired in. Bro, you get tired in boxing, it don't matter who you fighting. You could be fighting a fighter that don't have that much skill or talent. All he has to do is have a good chin and be tough and good with great conditioning, and he will beat you. So Peter Wet, what up? Yarde team did make a huge mistake pushing their guy. Not sure if they should make a change, but terrible move. Yeah, man, they overdid it, man. They overdid it. Like I said, it ain't just the fact that they pushed him to fight Kovalev, but even so, don't lie to the guy during the fight. Give him the right instructions. Do this, do that. So it is what it is. It's a learning experience. But I just believe, even with all these disadvantages that Yarde came into the fight with a trainer that gave him the right instructions, like Kovalev trainer, for example, he could have won the fight. He could have possibly really won the fight. And I know it sounds stupid, and I don't want to do if he could have, would have, because it's a past tense. However, it's the truth. Y'all saw that in the fight. In the first 3 rounds, it was competitive. He was competitive boxing Kovalev, right? So it's already, probably 2 rounds to 1 or 1 round to 2. Either way you look at it, vice versa. So, all right, from that point on, he could have just pressured Kovalev and started banging the body and invest in the body. And he should have been investing in the body from round 1. Long range, short range, inside, outside, it don't matter. You're supposed to go to the body 24/7. Since your guy you fighting in front of you can't take it to the body. And you could have stopped him. And then without emptying the tank. Like, why would you empty the tank? It's not like you need... Bruh, throwing 30 punches is equivalent of throwing 2 great punches with leverage. He didn't throw them punches with leverage. He didn't commit to them punches. He didn't use his body weight behind a lot of them punches in the 8th round. And that's what cost him the fight. My man said Yarde did way better than I thought. His team failed him. Facts, bro. Bro, that's what, man, that should have been the title for this video, man. Damn, I should have called it that. Yeah, he did great, but his team failed him. That should be a quote right there for an article, because that's exactly what took place. You know, he did what he's supposed to do. However, his team was just doing a lot of this. Like, bro, focus on the fight. Focus on what your fighter need to do to beat Kovalev, and having the right game plan instead of saying, my bad. You know, focusing on what Kovalev need to say. I mean, Kovalev, what he likes to do, what he don't like to do, what he's good at, what he's not. You know, I mean, I could have told you that just off watching Kovalev. Like, Kovalev doesn't have a left hook. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kovalev, you never see him throwing a left hook or a check left hook, so you don't got to worry about left hook. All you got to worry about is his jab, is his right hand, and his right hook, and his jab again, you know, or his three, you know, or his three combinations is when he throws these three. Like, that's all you, like, it's certain things you could have just been doing your homework instead of saying your fighter got more skills than Andre Ward and he gonna make easy work of Kovalev. Now you look stupid and foolish because that ain't what happened. That's not what happened. And Yarde struggled and got knocked out by Kovalev. A washed up version, I ain't gonna say washed up, but not the same version that fought Andre Ward when he was the killer, when he was the crusher for real. So you caused your fighter the fight. You caused your own self the fight by hurting your pocket, by hurting your brand, and that's because you let your ego get the better of you. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, Yarde needed a new trainer because the instruction was poor. I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking, but he should not have emptied his tank. That's the main thing. Second of all, he should have took that jab away, either with a counter right hand, either by feinting Kovalev. He wasn't feinting enough. And when he hurt Kovalev, he wasn't feinting Kovalev and selecting the right punches and going to the body more so. You know, he hurt Kovalev to the head, but what causes how he hurt him to the head is by him actually hurting him to the body first. And that's what caused him to hurt Kovalev to the head. So what he should have did, he should have stuck to the body attack instead of going straight to the head again. You know, he should have went head, body, and that's what his trainer screaming in the background. But man, like, okay, head, body, but goddamn, tell him how to get there. You know, work on a strategy. Tell him what combination should he throw next, what he should have. Like, it's so much things that his trainer could have did. You know, all I'm saying is his trainer was screaming out lines only when he don't need a motivational speaker at that time. He needed a guy to tell him what the fuck to do because he was dead ass tired. Like, bruh, Yarde didn't even get knocked out. He got knocked out from exhaustion, from conditioning. Like, he took a jab and he sat on his ass and he was like, oh shit, man. Like, bro, like, this shit happened to me yesterday. And I know exactly how y'all felt because this shit happened to me yesterday. I was playing, look, I haven't played soccer for a long time, right? So I go on the field, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, I got this shit. So I'm playing, I guess, you know, some, you know, a Mexican team. So this dude kicked the ball right in front of me. Like, he you know what I'm saying? He don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? He don't want no smoke. So what that dude does, he kicked the ball to my face. But I was like, fuck that. We need to put the gloves on. Like, he kicked the ball to my face. I ain't feel a goddamn thing. Like, that shit came so fast. Like, shit just happened like in half a second. So I didn't feel nothing. Like, literally, I didn't feel nothing. So I'm like, man, you know what? even though I felt my jaw was like pushed back a little bit, but I was like, man, damn, I ain't feel a damn thing. Maybe because I'm used to getting punched in the face, getting kicked by the ball, ain't shit. So that's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, adrenaline, it's something. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I got tired, like I ran so fast, I was running back and forth. My dumb ass didn't know how to conserve it. Like I forgot that, you gotta just play your position and that's it. So I'm doing the most, going back and forth, playing defense, offense, because it's a smarter court. I scored 2 goals and shit. And then my ass like got mad tired out of a sudden. Like as soon as I stopped, I was like, oh shit, what's happening? And I felt me getting kicked. Like I felt that like 10 minutes later. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I got kicked like 10 minutes ago. And like I didn't get blacked out, but you know how like when you first wake up, like you open your eyes and you see a black blur for a second. That started happening to me all of a sudden. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I had to sit my ass down for a little bit to recover and drink some water. And, so I know how exhaustion feel. So imagine you getting punched in the face by Kovalev, a hard puncher. Why are you being exhausted? I mean, you're going to feel that exhaustion for real, for real. So I'm saying this to let you know how hard it is. Like, and when you get punched time and time again to the body, to the head, you're going to feel it 10 times worse. And you're going to feel the punches 10 times worse when you're exhausted. And not just the punch, but more so, you're going to feel the exhaustion. You're going to feel like you mad fucking tired and you ready to quit. You know what I mean? So, credit to Yarde. Him and Anthony Joshua got the same first name. However, they got 2 different hearts. Yarde got a heart of a lion. Anthony Joshua, man, he don't even have a heart at all. When the road got tough, he quit mentally. Yarde didn't quit. However, he just had the wrong team. He was pushing, and the way he was pushing, if he had the right game plan, he could have won the fight, man. That's all I'm saying. So, man, I feel bad for my guy. I was rooting for him. I don't even like Kovalev, but breaking news for y'all, Kovalev turned down the Canelo fight. He said, hell no, to the no, to the no. No, I ain't fighting Canelo Alvarez in November. I just came off fighting, so I need a little break. So apparently he wants that fight in December. Canelo Alvarez, for some reason, he won that fight in November. I don't know if it's Christmas. He won an early Christmas present. Or he want to catch Kovalev while he's exhausted, and he want to catch him back to back. I don't know if I believe that's probably a good idea for Kovalev to go back to back, so he could quit all that drinking. But mentally, that could be fatiguing for a fighter that's 36 years old and is not in his peak anymore. If he's in his prime, it's no problem. He could run it back in November real quick. But as a fighter that's been out the game, I mean, not out the game, but he's not in his prime. So, it's so much wear and tear you could take on your body. You know what I mean? So, goddamn, man, I'm stuck in light in the middle of traffic. Can you believe that shit? Oh, hell no. I hope I don't see the po-po pull up. They see me rolling. They hating. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty for that. I got to go. But, like I said, Kovalev don't want to fight Canelo Alvarez in November. He feel like he need a little break. I feel his pain. He's a little older. You got to work smarter, not harder. So he might need a little break. His body needed probably like a month of vacation or so. So we'll see. Click on the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to your boy. Click on the notification bell to get notified every time we go live. And like I said time and time again, Yarde, he my guy. But he made a huge mistake. Not even the fact that he needed more experience, like I explained in the past. It was his experience and conditioning that cost him the fight. you know, but it's more so, you know, he believe in himself, which is always a great thing. It's better to be strong, mentally strong than mentally weak, right? You know, the fact that he's willing to go to Russia to fight Kovalev, the fact that he took the fight with not much experience, the fact that he only have total of 30 fights, amateur and pro, and he took on a Kovalev. So all these things I give him credit for, but the fact that, you know, you gotta have some common sense somewhere. Like, okay, I'm doing all this, I'm already reaching, so I don't know if the sparring shit is accurate or not. So he need to start sparring more, and he needs great sparring. Iron sharpen iron. Why you think Errol Spence so good? Like I said, I box, me personally. So the only time I get better is when I spar, and when I spar fight people that know how to fight. Like when I spar somebody that don't know how to fight, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like I ain't learning a damn thing. But when I'm sparring somebody that knows how to fight, it brings out the best in me, and I'm learning a thing or two, and I learned a trick or two. But when I'm not, then I'm not really learning that much. So that's that. As far as sparring, you need to spar top elite fighters. On top of all that, I heard he be sparring Dillian White. I don't know how true that is, so that's good sparring for the UK. So on top of all that, he need a trainer. He need a team that don't just believe in you, but that will tell you the real shit. Like if I'm rocking a suit and the suit is ugly as hell, like I don't want you to lie to me and be like, man, that suit, man, you look like $100 bill, man. You know, and I start feeling myself, go outside looking stupid. You know, I want you to tell me the truth. If I'm rocking a suit and I put together some dumb shit, I want you to tell me, like, yo, bruh, like that suit, and that suit looks stupid. So I go back to my closet and try to put something else. Like on my wedding, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like I put on whatever, you know, I had two different type of suits. I wear two suits in one day, right? So I showed people, I was like, yo, you know, pick one for me. And they told me, you know, they both hot. Like, pick both. Wear both of them. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to wear both of them. But I had to listen to people. Some people told me this is better than that. But then I started getting the same amount of people that will pick one suit, like they'll pick the other. You feel me? So, like, I had to just wear both of them. So I don't want you to lie to me. I want you to tell me the truth. If something looks stupid on me, I want you to be honest with me. If I'm losing the fight, I want you to tell me I'm losing the fight. I don't want you to tell me, yo, you winning the fight. You doing great. Like, no the fuck I'm not. Like Pacquiao, for example, or whoever it is when they were fighting that one time. I think Pacquiao did too. Freddie Roach. Oh, no. I think it was Sanchez. He was telling Golovkin he was winning the fight when he was losing. Versus Canelo. Like, bro, don't fucking lie. Oh, hell no. But, like Canelo, Canelo was beating his ass. And this dude telling him, you winning the fight. And I'm like, bro, he is not winning the fight. Stop lying to your fighter, man. Stop. Like, you ain't doing your fighter justice by telling him you winning. If you're scared to get fired, then you ain't doing your job. You should get fired any goddamn way for lying to your fighter. I don't care if the fighter wants you to lie to him or not. You better tell him the truth. Because, you know, what if the judges aren't on his side? What if he don't got the complexion for the protection? What if he fighting on a different side of the world? Like Yarde, for example. He fighting in Russia. So, you know, you got to tell the man the truth, man. So his trainer, he need people around him to tell him the truth. He need to work on a lot of things. His conditioning mainly, because his conditioning was what failed him and cost him the fight. He had the skills, he had the heart, he had the will to go with it. He had the talent, he had everything in the tank. He just didn't have the conditioning to go with it. Now, you could say experience, but he don't really need the experience. All he really needed was the conditioning to win the fight. Now, if he had the experience, then he could have canceled one of the two, like the conditioning, because he could have used his experience to pace himself. Because to go 12 rounds, you got to pace yourself to go 12 rounds. You got to be like, you know what? Instead of throwing 50 punches a round, I'm going to throw 30 punches a round And instead of wasting 20 punches, I'm gonna waste 10 punches, meaning I can miss 10 punches. I can't let myself miss more than 10 punches. I gotta be accurate because I'm gonna throw less punches, but I'm gonna try to make it up by being more accurate. You gotta pace yourself to go 12 rounds. That's what Yarde forgot. So when his trainer told him empty the tank, that's like the dumbest shit I heard. Like, bro, you know he got like 5 more rounds, right? Or 3 more, or 4 more rounds, or whatever. 313. What up? What it do, Aki? What's good, Aki? But like I said, you know, it's just so much, man, that I feel like y'all miscalculated. You know, he said it himself. You know, he was like, you know what, I miscalculated. Kovalev paced himself better. From all we know, Kovalev, Yarde probably got more stamina than Kovalev, but he just don't know how to pace himself like Kovalev does, or he don't know how to stay relaxed and not let his body be intense. Because you could gas yourself out even if you're not throwing punches. If you mentally and physically your body is intense, you burning your energy for no reason. So you got to know how to relax. And the best way to relax versus Kovalev was actually to go toward him. And Kovalev could generate a lot of power because he got long range and he likes to throw straight punches. So if you go inside, it's the safe zone versus Kovalev. And Kovalev can't generate as much power in the inside as he could generate punching somebody from the outside. You know what I'm saying? 313. Facts all day, huh? You already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, time and time again, you know, Yarde miscalculated. And I believe you don't got to kick your trainer out. Like, that's what a lot of people be like, you know, I got to stick with my team. The team that I came up with is the team that I'm going to leave with. You know, loyalty is everything, right? And I respect that, but you can always add a team member. You can always add a trainer. You don't always got to stick with the same guy. You know what I mean? You can always add people. Turk Links. Yo, what's up, Aki? You know, we out here in the city. If y'all missed the live, you know, y'all can always go back and watch it again. I dropped some on Errol Smith too. Since Shaw Porter told me he gonna cut him. And I ain't talking about a barber shot or giving him a haircut. He's talking about he gonna cut him during the fight. Peter Witt said Kovalev was in trouble, but he fought smart and faked young Yarde out. Too bad team didn't capitalize. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Experience plays a big role. You know, look at Keith Thurman and Pacquiao. You know, Pacquiao hit Keith Thurman one time. Keith Thurman took the mouthpiece and all that shit. The judges had to give Pacquiao the round there, and they're like, you know what, fuck this shit. But then when Pacquiao get hit, what he does, he punches gloves, and he act like he wants some smoke. And Keith Thurman was like, damn, I hit this dude with my best punch, and this dude acting like he want to get hit again. So it's all about that mental warfare. It's all about fooling your opponent. It's all about having a poker face. Like Rigan Diao, he don't have the best chin in the world, but he got a poker face where he could be hurt, he could be this, he could be that, but he got the poker face where he ain't gonna show if he happy, mad, sad, hurt, you know, whatever the case might be. He got a poker face where you won't know a damn thing. I thought Keith was going to fold up. I mean, he did fold up, but I mean, he did fight through it. But man, he did too much. He did too much when he did. Man, he be overreacting. Like Pacquiao didn't even know. Like if he got punched and actually took the punch and actually faked it, Pacquiao wouldn't have known. Pacquiao was actually threw the body shot and backed away, trying to like, you know what I mean? Like see a reaction or try to see what Keith Thurman is about to do next or counter with. So Keith Thurman could have faked it. But like I said, Keith Thurman, man, you know, he be slacking. But I got to go, so subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual fans or Eddie Hearn or whoever it is. Click on the like button. And peace, and we out. If y'all missed the live chat, y'all can always go back, you know what I'm saying, and watch the live chat. That was funny when Thurman cried out. Man, he took his mouthpiece. He actually blocked the punch doing so, but god damn, Keith Thurman. He was overreacting. And man, shit, Errol Spence would send that dude. Man, he next day he gonna be pissing blood. I tell you that. If he fight Errol Spence, which is soon, you know, I believe they're gonna fight someday. Peace.